everyone, this is Sandra at Spirit of Avalon. So today I'm going to be doing a video response. I was tagged by the lovely Rachel over at Second Thoughts About the Mission into her tag show me your covers. I think that was the title. Anyway, if it's not, the correct hashtag will be in the title, but I think it was show me your covers. So this is like a book tag. So this is not tarot. This will be looking at different book covers from the books in my collection. So I understand if you're not interested in that, that's totally fine. But I wanted to do this as I had been tagged in this by Rachel, and I thought some people might be interested. So I've got a whole pile of books here, and probably I could pick out more, but honestly you can only do so many. I mean, maybe I'll do a part 2, but at the moment we're going to start with this. So book covers that are like our favourites, basically, is what it is, that we think, oh, I love that cover of that book. But probably I'll go into a little bit about the actual books themselves, knowing me. So the first one here is Dracula. I love these covers like this, where it's like this, like leather bound books, and the cover is all etched like this. It always makes me want to do this and draw draw it, but it's lovely, isn't it, when it's done like this. And this is Dracula and Other horror classics, and of course I've read it. Dracula is great, but also, and look at the inside of this as well, but also one of the other stories that I really liked was Lair of the White Worm. That was so good. Jewel of Seven Stars was good as well, but Lair of the White Worm was probably my favourite, along with Dracula, obviously. But yeah, and on the back of this, look at the cover on the back. So nice, isn't it? I mean, when I saw this, because I'd already bought a copy of Dracula at the time, it was when I was in Whitby with Simon, and I'd already bought a copy, but when I saw this I was like, oh no, I have to get that one. And I gifted the other one that I bought to a friend. And I thought, well, this is cool because it's got other horror stories in it, but look at this with like the graves and stuff here. You could do ASMR with this book. But yeah, and even the spine, look, so good. So yeah, so I love that one. I'm going to be piling them all on the floor around me. The next one is similar, and I've had this for years, and it's probably not in the best condition now, but I love this. This is, of course, The Complete Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe, but look at this. And it's coming up more orange in the camera, but it's actually red. And again, love it. I love the spine of this book. It looks like a proper, as if it's like a really old edition. I have had it a while, but it's not like hundreds of years old. But it's so nice, and you know, you've got like a raven here, and all sorts of kind of things in the patterns. I just loved it, and the first time I ever saw it, it was in Waterstones, and I had to have it. It's just amazing, and of course it's got the silver gilded edges. Pages are a bit yellowed now because I've had it a long time, but I love Edgar Allan Poe. I'm afraid probably a lot of the books that I am showing here are going to be kind of horror, if they're fiction, sorry. But, you know, that's just me. But look at the back, how it's done so nicely, these intricate, you know, plants and hanging bits like from trees and stuff. It's just so nice. So that is one of my all-time favourite books. Could never give this up. So that's the Complete Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. Next we've got, and I picked this one up in TK Maxx, and it's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but I loved the hand coming out here and just Frankenstein, but I also love this, the edging around here, like the curves and everything, and the intricacies here. And also this is like a soft covering. It's not like we would say rose petal on tarot cards. It's not like that. It's almost like a soft fabric. It's really nice, and you've got Frankenstein down the centre, and it's raised, you know, and on the back. So this is by Paper Mill Press. But I just love all of this. I always love this kind of decorative work on covers of books, and the softness of this. So yeah, so this one's really nice too. And I do love the classics like this, like Dracula, Frankenstein, but I also like the classics like by Charlotte Bronte, you know, like Wuthering Heights and things like that. In fact, I will show you, but it probably wouldn't be like a favourite cover, but I do have, I can just grab them quickly. I also do have, let's just move Frankenstein, Wuthering Heights, and I love these books like this, with just this pattern and this kind of cloth bound books. And both of these, this one and the next one I'm going to show you, were again picked up in TK Maxx. It's unfortunate that that's where the sticker was, but otherwise it's lovely. So that is Wuthering Heights. So I do like classics like that as well, and this one is Jane Eyre, and it's got these lovely red leaves on it, Jane Eyre, and you know, the nice spine. Look, I've even got the price still on it. How bad is that? £12.99. But you couldn't really complain at that. It's a thick book, it's that lovely cloth cover, but again it was TK Maxx. But just as an example, I don't just read horror, but I do like goth lit books, and I'm looking forward to Goth Lit November, which is held by Rachel at Second Thoughts About the Mission, and also Bailey from Bailey Jean channel. So next is a book. Now let me see, probably better to stick to the fiction actually. So just going to move things around a little bit. Okay, so my friend Giselle will be like, oh my god, I might have known that you would show this. This is, I haven't got book one anymore in paperback form, but I am going to replace it. But this is a 3-book series by S.E. England, And as you can see, it's a darkly disturbing occult horror trilogy, but look how cool that cover is. How creepy is that? Can you imagine cloaked figures walking silently up towards this creepy looking building? And these books are so good. The first one is Father of Lies, which I don't have in paperback form anymore because stupidly I gave it away, but it's fine, I will repurchase it. I also have these on Kindle, and they're just so good, but they are, as it says, darkly disturbing occult horror. So if you do not like even ordinary horror, you definitely wouldn't like these. You know, I have always read horror books and things like that, so it doesn't bother me. This is the back, and as you can see, sequel to Father of Lies, and you can read that if you want to. But I do like the cover, it's so good. And then the third book in the series, which unfortunately got a bit bent, is Magda. How creepy is that? Look, the eyes are just white, isn't it? That is the third book. There is a fourth book that isn't part of, it's not like book 4 or anything, but it goes with us along the same lines as this, the same family and things are involved, and it's called The Owlmen. But yeah, I love this because it's so creepy, but the back kind of got a little bit damaged, but I'll just leave it there for a minute just in case you want to read that. You may need to sleep with the lights on after reading this, yeah. That'd probably go for all of those books in that series, actually. Next is, now this was gifted to me by my friend Richard at Longman Tarot. Look at this. Again, Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven. And the cover is so good, and that's like purpley. Yeah, it's purple. It looks a bit pink in the camera, but it's so good. And that's the back, but it's a pop-up book. How cool is it? So I love this. I know I'm only supposed to be showing covers, but I couldn't not show you this pop-up, could I? I mean, seriously, look at this. That does come out more, but it'd be difficult to show you on camera. But yes, The Raven, a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. So love that, love the cover, and love the content of the book. And on a lighter note, this is a very old copy of Cats in the Belfry by Doreen Tovey, and it's all about her life with her husband and her Siamese cats. It's so funny the way she describes them and talks as if they're talking, as if they're saying like you know, she's got Solomon and Sheba, her Siamese, and she'll say, Solomon came in and told me he didn't feel well, and things like that. And it's so good. And there's a whole series of books. This is Cats in the Belfry, which is the first one, and this is a very old copy. It's even got who the person was that owned it, 1957, because these books were written in the 50s, I think. And I've got all of them, but I just love these old books like this. I've got all of the Cats in the Belfry series, but the rest of the books I've got in paperback form, but I love them. It's just so good, and it is typical Siamese behaviour as well, but so funny and just entertaining and just old-fashioned, you know. Like she talks about, you know, she's got a cottage out in the middle of nowhere in Somerset, and the cats go off up the hillside, and talking about the people that lived near to her, you know, the old guy down the road and all sorts of things like that. And it's just, it's kind of, I suppose, like a cozy, comfy type of book, you know, to sit and curl up with in the autumn winter time, I would say. But yes, I came across this old copy, and even though it's battered and everything, I don't care. I'd love it if I could get the others in the series in this type of book, but I do have them in paperback. It's that. So I think all the rest are going to be non-fiction. So this one, I like it because, you know, having the face of Gerald Gardner on there, I just love it. So it's Witchfather, A Life of Gerald Gardner. This is volume 1. I do have volume 2 as well, but the covers are the same, so there's no point showing you both. Volume 1, Into the Witch Cult, and this is really good. So a lot of my books here are going to be sort of witchy pagan books, but I love this. And it just, do you know, see, this is going to sound really weird, but just reading the title Witchfather, I just think of my dad, because he kind of was, really. And just, you know, a Gerald Gardner type maybe. So there's that as well, that every time it was weird, the first time I ever saw that word, I didn't think, oh, Gerald Gardner, although I wanted a book about Gerald Gardner, I wanted the book to read about him, but that just made me immediately think of my dad, so it's just weird. That's the back of the book, and this I got from Watkins. I got both of them in Watkins, and I was really pleased to find them, because it can be quite difficult trying to find books actually about Gerald Gardner. So he was like the father of Wicca, as they very often say. And there's a little bit there by Ronald Hutton, who a lot of people will know if you've read any kind of witchy or pagan books. It's very academic. This book is a historical one, and so good. I love this because it's this old-fashioned picture of Queen Victoria and her daughters and granddaughter. And this is Purple Secret, Jean's Madness and the Royal Houses of Europe. It's really, really good. It talks about the madness of King George, but how, in a way, he wasn't mad. It was an actual illness. And why it's called Purple Secret is because it was to do with when... because in those times they would have like pots under the bed that they would wee into and things, and so they would have servants that would take the pots away in the morning and empty them and stuff, and they noticed the king's wee was a purpley blue colour, and he'd actually got a disease or illness called porphyria, and that was a lot of the cause of his madness, but it's hereditary, so it goes all through his line and through Queen Victoria's, and this book actually tells you about the different people that were affected, that had different symptoms and things all the way like through the line. So see, that is the model of the enzyme, the porphyria enzyme. defects in this enzyme are responsible for acute intermittent porphyria. So it's intermittent, and that's why George III seemed to get better. But then I think he had another bout of it later on. So, you know, they have it for a while, then seem to get better, and then, you know, go down with it again. But it is actually genetic and goes through the line. So, but I love this cover because it's so oldie looking, and the photo of Queen Victoria and her daughters is quite cool. So I better move a bit quicker. This one, I love it because of the tree. This is The Tree That Talked. This was a gift, and it's a lovely book. And it says on it, like no other book you have ever read, it will help you decode and uncover the hidden mysteries of nature. This is the back. And I love it for the tree. Just the outdoors and this lovely tree, which I think is an oak tree. Just lovely. Of course, I had to include Avalon. So this is In the Mysterium of the Lady of Avalon, exploring the secret hidden lands. And just look at the way this is done, like the body of a woman, the taut, and everything going down from the tall. And it's like a lady, like a goddess. I love the colour too. I have virtually all of Cathy Jones' books, I think. I have a lot of them anyway. And these are lovely. These pictures on the back are really, really nice. They had a large picture of this in the Goddess Temple, and it just really draws you in when there's this huge picture up there. Next one, and quite good for this time of year, Autumn Equinox. Love this. I love the autumnal colours. It's the Enchantment of Mabon, which we are in at the moment, going up to Samhain. We have a crow, a scarecrow. Love it. It just looks so inviting, I think. This is by Ellen Dugan. So, yeah, really nice. Yeah, love this. Another one, I love this book cover because it's got kind of like an iridescent holographic about it on here. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick it up on the Through the Fairy Glass. The words have kind of got a holographic, and even down here. So a look at the realm of unseen and enchanted beings. This is Through the Fairy Glass. And I love this as well. Look at her eyes. This is so lovely. But I love that effect too. And that's the back. So yeah, love it. This again is a really old book. The Avalonians by Patrick Benham. And obviously you can get you can get sort of more up-to-date versions, but I just love the older ones. I don't know when this was published. Gothic Image. It's 1993, and I just love this in this old style lettering and the green, and of course the tall on there. It's such a good book. It's by Gothic Image. It's the intriguing account of the life and times of a most unusual group of people. These extraordinary characters were drawn to Glastonbury, also known as the Isle of Avalon, at the turn of this century, and became involved in a series of strange events. So, yeah, that's the Avalonians. Another book, which again is Glastonbury, but is an older copy because it's the hardback, is Glastonbury Avalon of the Heart by Dion Fortune, and this is lovely to read. So nice. But I love that it's the old cover, the older book. It's by Aquarium Press. This is 1986, this one. Again, you can get more up-to-date paperbacks, but I love that I found this copy. Just with the tour, just a simple picture on the front, but this kind of old-fashioned writing, if you like, you know. So, yeah, I love that one. And again, I'm trying not to bore you with Glastonbury books, but I love the colour of this, the New Age in Glastonbury, the construction of religious movements, and I just love the blue, the sky here. This almost looks like a face, like two eyes and a nose here, and of course we've got the tour, which I love there, but it's just the blue of that, and the fact that it looks like there's a face on the cover is what I love there. That is the back. So, yeah, excellent. I tend to try and collect books about Glastonbury if I can. Anyway, moving on. The Ancient Art of Fairy Magic. Now look at this. Can you imagine walking in the woods and coming across these fairies? It would be so cool. I've always wanted that ever since I was a child. DJ Conway. So I think this might be an older book as well. That's the back. Because I've had this in my collection for a long time. So 2005. But yeah, it's lovely, really nice. And the next one is one that I got just last year for Christmas. It's Cunning Folk, Life in the Era of Practical Magic. And I love, again, the blue covering, and this has got that soft rose petal feel to it. Life in the Era of Practical Magic, Tabitha Stanmore. And I love that these are kind of that woodcut type of drawings on here. The art is that kind of woodcut. And I wanted to get this because, you know, my great-grandmother was a witch, and but probably in her day they would have called them cunning folk, cunning women, cunning men, etc. Possibly, and that might be more what my dad would have said he was. So I thought it'd be really interesting to read it, but I just love the cover. I love the blue, and this bright blue in this woodcut. So that's the inside cover. So, and yeah, so a lovely one. Next we have a book from Troy Books, and I have a lot of Troy books. And more than likely when I go to Glastonbury that I may get others. It depends what they have at the time. And this is one of Corinne Boyer's. I have a few of hers. She's really good. And this is Under the Bramble Arch, and I love this. This looks like horns, like a horned god. But I love all of this with like the brambles and the blackberries on it. I just love the cover. It's just so nice. And Troy Books they sort of specialise in pagan and witchcraft books. So this is the second book in the trilogy of books. It's the follow-on from Under the Witching Tree, which I also have. So, but like I say, we can't show everything on here. And this cover was the one that I like in particular. Really, really nice. And like I say, I do really like her books. She's really good. Next is another Corinne Boyer, and this one did cost me a bit of money, because this is the hardback of The Witch's Cabinet, which is extremely difficult to get in hardback form. I think you can still get it in paperback, but it was quite a difficult book to get in general. And the hardback, I don't think there was that many produced. So this did cost me a little bit of money to get this in the hardback form. But I love it. Look at that. Can you imagine this? I mean, look, you've got a skull. There's a little, almost like devil guy here. There's a crow. There's roses. This looks like a mandrake or something down here. Like a corn dolly or poppet. Snake. It's just so lovely. But this book was around £40, £45 I think I paid for this, because of it being a hardback, and it was out of print when I spotted it in Courtyard Books in Glastonbury. And this has got that rose petal field cover, and normally I wouldn't pay that sort of money for a book, but this one I knew it was out of print, so I knew it wouldn't be cheap, and it's one that I probably wouldn't have been able to find again. So this is Plant Lore, Sorcery and Folk Tradition. And look at the back. I mean, what a back cover of a book that is. How creepy does she look though? But it's so cool. I love the tree, the butterflies, moths, whatever. And yeah, this could be the cover of a horror book, couldn't it? But yeah, really nice copy that was in really decent condition actually, because some of their books are second hand, but this one I think was a new copy, and I was just lucky because it was the only one there. And it was actually on the day that I was leaving, and I happened to go back in there with my brother and found it on the day I was leaving. So yeah, lucky find. Next is one that I got from Watkins. Well, actually, my mum got it for me because this was expensive as well, because it's, I think, yes, it's got £45. A limited edition of 200 copies only, of which this is number 149. So, but I love it. It's this cloth cover again, which I really like, and it's in this bright orange with like a gold cat on it. You've got a mouse on the side, and this is witches and apparitions, and then the cat goes over there, and then you've got this bright blue inside. So this is to do with Charles II as well. So, but really nice paper and everything. It's probably not a book that everyone would want to read, you know, like this one. Full and plain evidence concerning witches and apparitions, and, you know, you've got that came with it. Holy Thorn Press, rare and unusual books. So we have got some drawings inside, some artwork. So, you know, it's nice to have some of these really nice edition books. Then we have another one by Troy Books, and when they bring books out, they have like a hardback, a special edition, and you know, varying in price. So this is I've only got 2 hardbacks of theirs because they're quite expensive, and they do like a fine edition which is hundreds of pounds as well, and limited. But this one is Silent as the Trees, which is Devonshire Witchcraft, Folklore and Magic by Gemma Gary. I really like her too. And I love this because I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but there's hairs on this, like 3 hairs. So it's just this lovely, like brown, looks like leather book with these lovely gold hairs and leaves on. I just thought it was lovely. The back is just plain, but they are really nice condition. It's got this lovely emerald green inside. This one is signed. I love that too. I think that was on the front of the fine edition, I think. But yes, there you've got some like that, Cecil Williamson, A Modern Cunning Man, and, you know, The Gallows Last. They would hang people for witchcraft. There's a bit in here about Mother Shipton and all sorts. It's really, really good. And my brother lives in Devon, and one of my brothers does. So, yeah, very cool. Very pleased to have that. And the last one that I'm going to show you I've had for a while, and it's the hardback again, which I think is quite difficult to get in hardback now, is Pagan Britain by Ronald Hutton. I have a couple of Ronald Hutton books, but they are quite hard going because he's an academic, so the books are written in that way. But they are really good and interesting, and you do get photographs and things like that inside. But I like the cover because it's night time with the full moon and the stones. This isn't Stonehenge. I don't know whether it says where it is. Yeah, Callanish Standing Stones. So this will be in Scotland, the Callanish Standing Stones, and that is Ronald Hutton in the back. But I just love the cover, and I think for the paperback, I'm not sure if they changed the cover. They might have done, but yes, I'm just looking while we're still here whether I have anything else I can show you. Well, actually I've got lots I could show you really, but I love this one, for instance. That's another one to show you. Yeah, so this is another really nice one, and then we'll leave it at that. Too many. I've got to put all these back, guys, afterwards. Walking with the Green Man. I love that. I love that cover. So nice. Father of the Forest and Spirit of Nature. It's illustrated by Ian Daniels, who is the illustrator for the Tower of Vampires, which is sadly now out of print. But look at this. Look. So good. I know this is only supposed to be about covers, and it is. But, I mean, look. I mean, guys, seriously. So nice. don't know how this happens. My books always tend to get bent somehow on the corners, but never mind. Yeah, and we've got like Green Man there, but I love that. So nice. Anyway, so that is it. That is my favourite covers for the Show Me Your Covers tag by Rachel over at Second Thoughts About the Mission. I will link Rachel's channel below. She has a really lovely channel. She does books, tarot. She even talks about music sometimes. Shows you different things if she goes away or goes to museums or things like that. And she lives right near Salem as well, which is so cool. So she often goes to Salem and will show bits and pieces that she's got from there. So yeah, if you haven't watched Rachel, please go over and have a look at her channel, because she's really, really good and she's lovely. Really, really nice person. So yeah, I will link her channel down below. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing really well, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.